Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the story of one of the most recognizable structures on the planet, the Eiffel Tower, but we're not just talking about its beauty or its place in the Parisian skyline. We're going back in time to uncover the incredible and often controversial story of how this iron marvel was built. It's a tale of ambition, innovation, and a whole lot of resistance. So grab your popcorn because this is the story of how the Eiffel Tower defied expectations to become the icon we know and love today. Our story begins in the late 1880s. Paris was gearing up to host the 1889 Exposition Universelle, or World's Fair. This was a massive event designed to showcase France's industrial and cultural prowess to the world, and it also marked the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. The French government wanted a centerpiece for this fair, something truly spectacular that would leave a lasting impression. They launched a competition, inviting engineers and architects to submit designs for a monumental tower to be built on the Champ de Mars. The rules were simple, yet incredibly ambitious. The tower had to be 300 meters tall, that's nearly 1,000 feet, and it had to be made of iron. Over 100 designs were submitted. Some were bizarre, some were traditional, but one stood out from the rest. It was the proposal from the engineering firm of Gustave Eiffel. Now, a common misconception is that Eiffel himself designed the tower. While he was the brilliant entrepreneur and engineer who championed the project, the initial concept was actually developed by two of his senior engineers, Maurice Koechlin and Émile Nouguier. They sketched out a massive iron lattice pylon, which was later refined by architect Stephen Sylvester, who added the decorative arches at the base and the cupola at the top. Eiffel saw the potential in their design, bought the patent rights, and put his name and reputation behind it, convinced he could make it a reality. When Eiffel's design was chosen in 1886, the reaction was not exactly enthusiastic. In fact, many in Paris were horrified. A group of prominent artists and writers, including famous names like Alexandre Dumas the Younger and Guy de Maupassant, signed a petition called the Protest Against the Tower of Monsieur Eiffel. They called it a useless and monstrous structure, a gigantic black smokestack that would dominate Paris and crush its historic monuments with its barbaric mass. They pleaded with the government to stop the construction, arguing it would be a dishonor to the beauty and soul of their city. The public was divided. To many, the idea of a giant iron skeleton looming over the elegant streets of Paris was a nightmare. The tower was mocked in the press and became a symbol of industrial ugliness. But Eiffel was unfazed. He was a man of science and progress, and he was determined to prove his critics wrong. He published a passionate response, defending his tower not just as an artistic statement, but as a triumph of modern engineering and a symbol of France's industrial age. He argued that from a structural point of view, the laws of natural forces dictated the tower's unique curve and shape, giving it its own kind of beauty. Despite the fierce opposition, construction began on January 28, 1887. The first step was laying the foundations, a massive undertaking in itself. The tower's 4 massive legs needed incredibly stable footings to support the immense weight. The site was near the River Seine, so the ground was soft and marshy. The engineers used compressed air caissons, a cutting-edge technology at the time, to allow workers to dig down deep below the water level and lay solid concrete slabs. Each of the 4 pillars rested on its own concrete foundation, ensuring the tower would be perfectly level and stable. This foundational work was meticulous, a testament to the precision that would define the entire project. With the foundations in place, the iron lattice work began to rise. This is where the genius of Eiffel's company truly shone. The entire tower was prefabricated. Each of the 18,038 individual wrought iron pieces was designed, calculated, and manufactured with incredible precision at Eiffel's factory in a suburb of Paris. The pieces were then transported to the construction site by horse-drawn carts. Think of it like the world's most complicated IKEA set. Every beam, every rivet hole was pre-made to fit perfectly. This level of pre-planning was revolutionary for the time and was a key reason the construction was so fast and efficient. On site, a team of around 300 workers, many of whom were skilled ironworkers who had previously worked on tall bridge projects, began assembling the tower. They were known as skywalkers, fearlessly climbing the structure as it grew higher and higher. They used wooden scaffolding and small steam-powered cranes that actually crawled up the tower with them. The pieces were hoisted up and then painstakingly riveted together. A team of 4 men was needed for each rivet. One heated it to a glowing red, another placed it in the hole, a third held it in place, and the fourth hammered it tight. As the rivet cooled, it contracted, pulling the iron plates together with immense force. Over 2.5 million rivets were used in the construction of the tower. One of the most impressive moments came when it was time to join the 4 massive legs into a single tower at the first level. This was a critical and delicate operation. Any tiny error in the foundations could have resulted in the legs not meeting up correctly. To solve this, Eiffel used hydraulic jacks in the foundations of each leg, allowing him to make micro-adjustments and tilt the massive pillars until they aligned perfectly. It was a moment of pure engineering brilliance, and it worked flawlessly. As the tower climbed past the first and then the second level, Parisians who had once scoffed at the project began to watch in awe. The sheer scale and speed of the construction were unlike anything they had ever seen. The monstrous smokestack was starting to look elegant. Remarkably, the construction was also incredibly safe for the era. Building something this tall in the 19th century was extremely dangerous work. Eiffel was deeply concerned about the safety of his workers. He implemented strict safety measures, including movable guardrails, safety screens, and requiring workers to be tethered when high up. As a result, only 1 worker fatality was officially recorded during the construction phase itself, which was an astonishing safety record for a project of this magnitude at the time. Finally, after just 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days, the tower was complete. On March 31, 1889, Gustave Eiffel himself led a group of officials and pressed up the stairs to the top. He hoisted a massive French flag, and a 21-gun salute boomed across Paris. At 300 meters, the Eiffel Tower was officially the tallest man-made structure in the world, a title it would hold for over 40 years until the Chrysler Building was completed in New York. The critics were silenced. The tower was an immediate sensational success at the World's Fair. Millions of people flocked to see it, riding the brand-new elevators to the top for breathtaking views of the city. The structure that was supposed to be a temporary eyesore had become the star of the show. Originally, the plan was to dismantle the tower after 20 years. Its contract was only for the duration of the fair and 2 decades after. But by the time 1909 rolled around, the tower had completely won over the hearts of the French people and the world. It had also proven itself to be incredibly useful. Its height made it a perfect platform for scientific experiments, from meteorology to aerodynamics. More importantly, it became a crucial radio telegraph station. During World War I, the tower's transmitter jammed German radio communications, playing a vital role in the Allied victory at the First Battle of the Marne. Its value as a communications hub saved it from demolition, securing its permanent place in the Paris skyline. And so, the story of the Eiffel Tower's construction is more than just a story about iron and rivets. It's a powerful lesson in perseverance and vision. It's about how a structure, initially condemned as an offense to art, could through sheer engineering brilliance and audacity become a work of art itself. It redefined what was possible and became a lasting symbol of human ingenuity, a beacon of modernity that continues to inspire wonder to this day. What started as a temporary monument for a fair became an eternal icon for a city and the world. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the history of incredible engineering feats. Let me know in the comments what other structures you'd like to see us cover. Until next time.